I'm quite intrigued by the predictions that people are going with, that Brazil and Argentina are going to do well, because I mean, obviously, I'd love England to win the World Cup, but it's never going to happen unless it would have to be the shittest World Cup ever. I mean, I'm going to be absolutely honest here. It would have to be the shittest World Cup ever for England to win the World Cup, because we've got Gareth Southgate in charge. So for us to win it, what was I talking about before? Yeah, the World Cup. So yeah, if England were to win the World Cup, it would be the worst World Cup there's ever been, because we're crap, we're boring, we've got Southgate in charge, and we basically just bore everybody to death. So I'd love England to win it because I'm English, but it wouldn't be pretty if we did. So I'm hoping that this hype around Brazil and Argentina is real, because we haven't seen a non-European club win the World Cup for 20 years. It was Brazil in Japan in 2002, the last time anybody won it outside of Europe. So I'd love to see that. I would love to see that, but my head still thinks that it will be a France who win it, something like that. Mark, who would you like to be the next England manager if Southgate flops, says Steve? If Southgate flops, what are you talking about? He's bloody useless. There's no if, buts or maybes. Get rid of him. He's rubbish. Even Marks and Spencers don't want to sponsor him anymore with waistcoats. So look, the next England manager should be Potter or Howe. But they're not. I wouldn't leave Chelsea or Newcastle to take the England job. I mean, if you're at Chelsea or Newcastle, you've got owners who want to back you, who want to make you the best team in England. If you go to England, you've got the people who are your bosses who basically just want to make money and keep themselves in a job. So it's not an attractive job, the England job, for Howe or Potter. So the problem is we'll probably end up with somebody like Gerrard or Lampard, who for me are just not. I don't want Sean Dyche, by the way. I don't want us to go English next. I don't want England to go English, really. I don't see an English candidate. So I would be looking at... I'd love Pochettino to take it. He knows the Premier League. I think it would be a good job for him to take for a few years. And I think he's got the reputation and respect to do the job. But if we go foreign, we can't go with the wrong profile. I mean, we've had Ericsson, who's basically a Swedish Pulis. And we've had Capello, who's basically an Italian Pulis as well. Like, we may as well have got Tony Pulis. So I would like England to go with a foreign coach next. And yeah, I'm not unpatriotic, I just see it how it is. England's been an embarrassment for most of my life because of the way it's run. We're not ambitious. We're conservative. That's what the FA's like. Ollie is next manager, says Dodgy. I mean, I always take it as a joke when people say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is next manager of any club, because I'm telling you now, he shouldn't be taking a job anywhere out of Norway. Like, he did well at Mulder, and that's probably his level. I don't think, I think Carrick at Middlesbrough and McKenna at Ipswich are better managers than Ollie. So that shows you what Ollie's level is. Maybe a lower Championship club, Division League One side. I'm Scottish, says Jack, and I want Prattgate out. I believe you can only be as good as your biggest rival, since you push each other to be better. Wenger is England coach, says Pleb. I wouldn't mind Wenger as England coach, but I think he's probably a little bit too old for it now. Opinion on Ireland's football team, Mark, says on Ireland. I know you've not been very good for a while, but seem to be getting a little bit better. It's a long road back, isn't it? Scott Parker for England. I mean, that's what I mean. If you go for an English coach, you're going to end up with someone like Scott Parker or Steven Gerrard. That's not progression. England tried Capello and that didn't work, says Mark. Yeah, because he was the wrong type of foreign coach to go for. He was an Italian part the bus merchant. You've got to go for, if you're going to go foreign, go for somebody who's actually good. Don't go for somebody who plays negative football. Again, conservative. There's a really big, if you look at England's recruitment of managers over the last 20 years, ever since they got rid of Keegan, it's been conservative. Ericsson, conservative. Capello, conservative. Southgate, conservative. McLaren, conservative. Hodgson, conservative. Allardyce don't even talk to me. Look, would you take Thomas Tuchel? I mean, Tuchel's a bit conservative, to be honest, but I mean, of course I'd take Tuchel over Southgate. Rooney for England. That's the sort of thing they'd probably do, I wouldn't be surprised if Southgate stays. England gets to the quarterfinals, come back to a bus tour. English football fans love losing. So, probably give him another 3-year deal. Name a World Cup winning coach that plays incredible football, says Mark. Oh, mate. Mark, you're not called Mark. You're called Gareth. And your second name's Southgate. Don't defend Southgate. He's an absolute joke. And you can't say, wow, France don't play entertaining football. International football is not that entertaining, but you can have principles. Brazil do not play Gareth Southgate football. We've seen England playing with a back five and 2 holding midfielders at home to bloody farmers. Come on. And there are examples of teams that try to play good football. You should shave your head if Southgate wins the World Cup, says Jim White. I mean, if you look at the World Cup winners, Brazil 94 was a good side. France 98 was a good side. Brazil 2002 was a good side. Who won the World Cup in 2006? Was it Italy? I mean, they weren't. They were a bit pragmatic, of course. 2010 was Spain. De Bruyne, good shot straight at the keeper. I mean, that Spain team wasn't my cup of tea, but it was a very good Spain team, wasn't it? The way they played football. So they were very good. I mean, look, could Southgate get England playing like Spain? Whether you like that style of football, in his bloody dreams. 2014 was... Who won it in 2014? Was it Germany? They were a good side. I mean, they battered Brazil. Brazil haven't won a World Cup in 20 years, says Mark. I mean, France 2018 was a bit methodical, I agree. But there you go. Out of the last 6 World Cup winners, both Brazil teams were very entertaining. The German side was entertaining. The Spanish side was entertaining. And the France 98 team was very entertaining. So Italy and France 2018, 2 out of 6 weren't that easy on the eye. 4 of them were. And remember, they're playing football every 3 days as well. So it's hard to maintain that.